In this video, we would learn how to draw and measure angles. For drawing and measuring angles, we need a tool called protractor. And this is how a protractor looks like. In simple words, we can say it's a semicircular shaped ruler. Like a ruler helps measures line segments, protractor help measures angles. We always have to remember an angle looks something like this. An angle is going to have two arms. This is called arm 1. This is called arm 2. One of the two arms always has to be placed on the base of the protractor. And this is called the vertex. Vertex always has to be placed in the center of this semicircular arc of the protractor. Wherever we see the second arm, we read that number as an angle. Always remember, if arm 1 coincides this side, right side, we start reading the angle from 0 degrees, and 0 is in the bottom numbers, not top numbers. So we would read it from the bottom numbers, and bottom numbers we read the answer is 50 degrees. So that's how we figure out that the angle is 50 degrees. Let's take up an example. If let's say we want to measure this angle, call it angle number 1. All we have to do is just bring the protractor and put the semicircular tip of the base of the protractor on top of the vertex of the angle, and the baseline of the protractor on top of this baseline of the angle, and it would look something like this. This is how we would place the protractor. So the protractor base is on top of the baseline of the angle, vertex of the angle and the semicircular arc tip of the protractor are coinciding. All we have to do is we just have to read this number where the second arm is pointing. And are we supposed to read the top number or the bottom number? We see that the baseline always is going to be equal to 0 degrees. And 0 is from the bottom numbers, not from the top numbers. So the bottom number arc is the one that is what we are going to read. So the answer is going to be 60 degrees. And we know if the angle is less than 90 degrees, it's called an acute angle. So this is an acute angle given to us. So this angle that we got from the protractor is 60 degrees, and this is an acute angle because this angle is less than 90 degrees. Now let's do question number 2, and then let's measure this angle. We'll repeat the same thing. We'll bring the protractor on top of this angle and see how it measures it. So this is how we place the arms of the angle. One arm, that is the base of the angle, is going to be placed correspondent to the base of the protractor. Vertex of the angle is going to be matched to the semicircular tip of the protractor. The other arm is what we are going to read, and because we have to read from the bottom numbers, this is 90 degrees. So we conclude that this angle is 90 degrees, and when the angle is exactly equal to 90 degrees, it's called a right angle. Let's do question number 3, and now we have to measure this angle. We'll do the same thing. Bring the protractor on top of this angle in such a way that the base arm coincides with the base of the protractor line. Let's see how it looks like. So the baseline of the protractor and the base of the arm are coinciding because the base of the arm was this side. So now we are going to coincide the base of the arm with the protractor base on the left side. The tip and the vertex of the angle are both coincident. We can extend this to read the number, and then we see this is approximately in between these two numbers. Now how do we know if we have to read between 60 and 50 or between 120 and 130? Is we'll see where are we coming from. So we are coming from this side. We're not coming from this side. Now this side, 0 is top numbers. So we will be reading the top numbers. And then we keep going. So we have to go from 120 to 130. This is 121, 122, 123, 124, and 125. So the angle is 125 degrees. Therefore, the answer is 125 degrees. If the angle is greater than 90 degree, it's called an obtuse angle. Let's take up example number 4. Let's bring the protractor on top of this angle again. And this is how it looks like. Because again, the base of the angle is pointing left. So we would match it with the left side base of the protractor. Vertex of the angle is going to be matched to the base point of the protractor. This is the line that is going to give us the angle value. And then remember, we are going this way, so this way 0 is seen on the top number, so this angle is 30 degrees. So we know this angle is 30 degrees. Again, this angle is less than 90 degrees, so this is going to be acute angle. So in these examples we covered up how to measure angles. Now let's learn how to draw angles. Let's say I want to draw 140 degree angle and the other one I have to draw is 80 degree angle. So if we want to draw a 140 degree angle, what do we have to do is we have to make a baseline first, bring the protractor, match the baseline of the angle with the protractor baseline and the tip of the angle with the tip of the protractor semicircle. Because the protractor is a see-through protractor, we are going to see something like this. So this is how it would look like. Now we are supposed to make an angle of 140 degrees. So we would see this way, that is the right side. 0 is seen on the bottom numbers. We have to make a 140 degree angle. So we keep going. We are going this way until we reach 140 degrees. 140 degrees we have to reach on the bottom numbers, not on the top numbers, because we're counting from the bottom number as the bottom number is a 0. So we mark the point here. Once we mark the point, all we have to do is we can use a ruler to make a line joining the vertex of this baseline. And we see that we are able to make angle 140 degrees. Let's say we have to make angle 80 degrees now. We make a point, we use a ruler to make a straight line. That's step 1. We bring the protractor and keep the protractor in such a way that this vertex of the line, that this point of the line and the protractor semicircular point are coincident with each other. So this would look something like this. So this is how it would look like. Once these match each other, we know 0 degree is on the top number, so we are moving this way. We have to make 80 degrees, so we will look for 80 degrees on the top numbers and we see we reach here. All we have to do is just connect this point and this point with a straight line. We can use a ruler for that just to make sure the line is straight, and this is how we get angle 80 degrees. So this is how we use protractors in order to measure or draw angles.